I'm Simon Boxall, in for Donna Bush with your CIG TV news brief and weather forecast on this Monday. Thanks for being here. After a hazy 4-day weekend, the Cayman Islands National Weather Service says the public can expect the Saharan dust that has been impacting our local area since Friday to dissipate early this week. National Weather Service Director General John Tibbetts explains the origin of the phenomenon and how it impacts the local environment.
Well, first we got to realize that the dust plumes and the effect of Sahara dust on the Cayman Islands is a seasonal thing. Okay. Generally speaking, what happens is that you have strong winds blowing over the Sahara Desert that picks up the sand and the dust, and the sand will be go way up into the atmosphere when it's then picked up by the trade winds and moved west. As it moves west and the winds start to decrease a bit, some of that dust starts to settle out of the atmosphere. Okay. A lot of the concern when it's settling out of the atmosphere is the impact on health and well-being. There's also the concern also with the health of plants and crops and what have you. The situation is much worse in the Eastern Caribbean, where the settling out of that dust out of the atmosphere is usually it usually has a much larger impact on them, as a lot more dust settles down to the lower atmosphere. Now, I will tell you that this dust plume that we got from the Sahara dust was a fairly strong one, and the way that you know it's fairly strong is because you could have looked at the dust in the sky latter part of last week when it came in, and you could see that it was fairly low down in the atmosphere. It should be pointed out that not all of that you're looking at up top is the Sahara dust. It's also some high-level clouds that are also mixed in with the Sahara dust. And then really and truly the latter part of last week, the winds were up a bit, and so we had a bit of salt spray there as well. So there was a lot of things that came together to produce a very hazy sky, as it were. Well, we're using a software from the Regional Training Center, the Caribbean Institute of Meteorology and Hydrology. And their dust tracking software and model indicates that we should start to see a decrease in it on Thursday and Friday.
Sahara dust is a mixture of sand and dust from the largest hot desert in the world. To find out more about the phenomenon, visit the 7-day dust prediction page of the Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology at www.cimh.edu.bb. Members of the public will be able to have their say on climate change in the Cayman Islands this Wednesday at a meeting hosted by the Ministry of Sustainability and Climate Resiliency. Representatives from the UK's Centre for Environment, Fisheries and Agricultural Science and the UK Centre for Ecology and Hydrology are in town to facilitate a public meeting as part of ongoing work on a climate change risk assessment for the Cayman Islands government. Chief Officer for the Ministry of Sustainability and Climate Resiliency, Jennifer Ahern, spoke to CIG-TV about the plans for the meeting.
As part of our work on the climate change risk assessment, which we are doing in collaboration with the support of the Governor's Office and CFAS and the UK Centre for Ecology and Hydrology, the Ministry of Sustainability and Climate Resiliency is hosting a public meeting this Wednesday, May 25th, from 6 to 7:30 p.m. at Constitution Hall, which is the former Georgetown Town Hall. At that meeting, we are inviting the public to come and hear from representatives both from our ministry, from the Department of Environment, from CFAS, and from the UK Centre for Ecology and Hydrology regarding the initial work that has been done on the climate change risk assessment. Looking at evidence, using an evidence-based report, the consultants have arrived at a long list of risks And we're holding some technical workshops this week with subject matter experts and technical experts to look at that long list of risks and identify and prioritize the ones that will then be further assessed as we move forward with the climate change risk assessment process. The results from the climate change risk assessment will be used to update the draft climate change policy to make sure that it's fit for purpose, that it reflects our current situation, and it's identified the correct priorities that we will have to address in terms of our adaptation and mitigation efforts. If you want to follow us, our ministry is on gov.ky/sustainability. We're also on LinkedIn and on Facebook.
Chief Officer Ahern said feedback from the meeting would be used to develop a national climate change policy and strategy. The public meeting on climate change takes place at 6 p.m. this Wednesday, 25th of May, at Constitution Hall. For more information, visit the Ministry of Sustainability and Climate Resiliency Facebook page. Cayman Brac is getting ready for the upcoming Jubilee celebrations. In 2 weeks' time, both Cayman Brac and Grand Cayman will host parades of uniformed services and community organizations to mark the official 96th birthday and Platinum Jubilee of Her Majesty the Queen Elizabeth II. To prepare for the occasion, uniformed services, contingents, and civil servants, including set builders and audio technicians, attended a rehearsal on Sunday outside the District Administration Building. If this preview of things to come on Cayman Brac has left you wanting more pomp and pageantry, a calendar of Jubilee celebrations across the Cayman Islands is available from gov.ky/Jubilee. Turning now to today's forecast. Tonight there will be partly cloudy skies with a 40% chance of showers. Temperatures will fall to the mid-70s. Winds will be east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 2 feet. Today's synopsis calls for cloudiness and showers associated with a tropical wave currently located southwest of the Cayman area. The cloudiness is expected to decrease as the wave moves off towards the west by late Friday morning. Fresh southeasterly winds and moderate to rough seas are also expected as a high-pressure system builds over the Atlantic Ocean. Satellite images show scattered multi-level clouds in and around the Cayman area, drifting slowly to the northwest. A reminder that you can find the latest on local weather conditions online at weather.gov.ky, or simply download their app on your mobile device, and that's CINWS. And that's it for today's news brief on CIG Television. I'm Simon Boxall in for Donna Bush, inviting you to join us here again on Tuesday evening. Until then, have a great night, everyone.
Seek the latest, accurate information on COVID-19 only from official sources at gov.ky/coronavirus.
Did you know that planning permission is required for a shed? Did you know you should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required? Did you know that planning permission is required for an addition, alteration, or any material change to your house? The 10% rule no longer exists. Did you know you should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required? Did you know your mailing address details on your land register must be up to date in order to receive notices on new development which may impact you? Visit Lands and Survey Department to check your mailing address is correct. Did you know that walls, fences located along the road require planning permission no matter the height? You should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required. Did you know that fences and walls within the high water setback require planning permission no matter the height? You should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required. Did you know that a trellis structure requires planning permission? You should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required.